Well, it's almost time for lawmakers to go home for the year. Almost. There's still no agreement on some key issues at the state capitol. Our Capitol reporter Kimberly Howard is live outside the Assembly chamber right now. Kimberly, at this point, does it look like lawmakers will be going home anytime soon? Probably not today, right?
Probably not, Greg. Several of them have told me that they fully expect to be here tomorrow, maybe even Friday. Now, several bills have been passed in both the Assembly and the House, but mostly highly localized bills. There's still a lot of question about some larger issues, leaving people to wonder, what about rent control and education?
Vote on the floor. Clerk will record the vote.
This would be called kind of grinding it out.
Your bill is passed.
Just hours before the 2015 legislative session is scheduled to end.
That's why my suggestion would be, let's get done all the bills that we need to get done, the local bills. And if there's no agreement, then I think we break session and get out of town, because right now to keep this legislature in session costs a lot of money.
Still, many people are eagerly awaiting key decisions. Among them, how many charter schools will be allowed to operate in New York State. Right now, there's a limit of 460. The governor has been a huge supporter of opening more, which is why the Alliance for Quality Education unraveled this list of nearly 30,000 signatures, all New Yorkers who say no more.
We cannot take more money from our public schools to send into privately run charter schools.
Lawmakers are split on whether the cap should be raised.
We have a very high percentage of charter schools in the capital region. Somewhere between 15 to 20% of the children I represent are in charter schools. That is extraordinarily high. As of July 1st of this year, we will have had 3 charter schools close in the last year.
I understand both sides of that issue. Certainly many of the public school advocates are dead set opposed to any more charter schools, but there's a lot of parents out there that want that educational choice. So I think we're going to have to wait and see.
Meanwhile, advocates are also calling for more accountability of the charter schools that already exist.
They should have a tight structure to make sure that there's fraud audits and there are fraud prevention measures in place. It's important that the schools are accountable to the public.
Now, several members of the Assembly majority are telling me they haven't conference with their leader since Sunday. Here behind me, you can see that the chamber at this point is empty, so presumably they are meeting with their leader right now, but we've been able to speak with them since that meeting, if it's still in fact in session. So it's really hard to gauge where we are on some of these larger issues, but again, less than 6 hours of the scheduled legislative session is now left. Greg?
And as we look ahead to tonight, they may still deal with the property tax cap, maybe making that permanent, maybe not. But also MMA, New York, the only state without legalized MMA, and that could come up tonight and could even pass.
Yeah, that's true. We've definitely heard some whisperings about that coming to the floor either tonight. If they do stay beyond tonight, it could come to the floor tomorrow. And that bill could see a lot more steam than it has, a lot more promise than it has in the past, because former Assembly Majority Leader, former Assembly Speaker rather, Sheldon Silver was staunchly opposed to that. We know that Carl Hastie has backed this bill in the past, so with the Assembly under his leadership now, it's possible that we could see that go through. But again, that's another one of those major decisions that we have yet to see.
All right, grab some pizza and some coffee and settle in for the night. Thank you very much. Kimberly Howard live at the Capitol tonight.